uh, Mr. Julius Thompson to talk about goal setting. And Brother Thompson.
Thank you, Brother Burnett. It's always a pleasure to talk to the Kappa Leaguers. I actually was a Kappa Leaguer myself way back in the day in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, chapter Kappa League. Well, the years are not important, so don't worry about that part. Just know I was in Kappa League, and now I've been a Kappa League director or assistant director for the last 5 years. So it's always good to see that. We have gotten to a point in this discussion. We're hearing about so many things. You're hearing about, internships and, your future and, those budgeting. And all of that kind of goes back to what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about right now, which is goal setting and how to set SMART goals. A lot of times, you may have an idea of what a goal looks like, how to get from point A to point B. A goal is essentially identifying where that point B is and taking systematic steps to get from point A to point B. Because it might seem a little bit easier in your mind, but once you start out on that journey, you might have a little bit of difficulty. So these are some tips that are going to help you along the way in establishing yourself and goals. So I'm sharing my screen with you right now on how to set SMART goals. So essentially, SMART is an acronym. So I want somebody to jump in and tell me what is a goal. That'll be a good thing to get us started out. Anybody, feel free to chime in and let us know what a goal is. I know these are all our Kappa across the whole. I said I want the brightest Kappa League minds that Kappa League across the country has to offer. So I know when I ask a question, somebody's gonna jump in and answer it. So don't all jump in at once, but I need somebody to tell me what is a goal.
Something you work towards.
Yeah, you work toward, yeah. Okay, somebody else?
Something that you project to it or work for it in the future to order to get that satisfaction.
Okay, I heard two people say work. Work is a key word in achieving goal. Okay, what is a short-term goal?
A short-term goal is something you can easily achieve, not very long.
Okay, something you can achieve in a relatively short period of time. Okay, I want to, this goal, maybe something's going to take place. It's in July. We want to have this goal achieved by August. That may be a short-term goal. Okay, give me an example of a short-term goal one of you may have that you've set for yourself.
In school, I said I want to, in order to get a good grade on this test, I'm gonna have to study for it. So.
Okay, perfect achievement. Okay, now what is a long-term goal? A long-term goal is probably, you can go ahead, Ty. I see you chime in. Go ahead.
A long-term goal is not as most likely to do it in a short-term time. Is most likely overcoming adversity, overcoming challenges in order to achieve that goal.
Absolutely. So, a lot of you guys are probably gonna have those long-term goals. I wanna be a doctor. I wanna be an engineer. Those are more your long-term goals. Now, a lot of times, a long-term goal is gonna be broken down into a bunch of short-term goals to get you ultimately to long-term goal. Now, can short-term goals and long-term goals be the same?
Yes.
Yes.
Give me an example of goals that can be both.
Well, you can have a bunch of short-term goals inside of a long-term goal. Okay. So say that one day I want to be an engineer, but I have to study.
You got to study
scientific.
Okay.
Science major. So I need to pass my science exam. Yeah. So I need to study for this. So you can have a short-term goal inside long-term goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Another way to think of it, I know a goal that I always have is, I want to live a healthy lifestyle. That's something you're going to do that's a long-term goal, but that's also going to be a goal that you're going to have to work on every day, every week, every month, whatever. If you're going to live a healthy lifestyle, that means you're not just going to, 20 years from now, that's when you're going to start working on that goal. No, that's going to be your ultimate goal for the next year, the next 5 years, next 15, however long that is. So I know some of y'all probably not thinking that far in the future, but some goals can be continuous goals, long-term goals and your short-term. So setting SMART goals. The word SMART is actually an acronym. I mean, when you think of the word SMART, you think intelligent, but that's actually an acronym. An acronym is a word that is made up of different words, but the first letter of each word, like BLM, that's the acronym for Black Lives Matter, right? KL, Kappa League. So, those are examples of acronyms. So SMART is an acronym. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Those are going to be the 5 things we talk about in goal setting. Now, there are several more things that go into goal setting, but for right now, we're just going to talk about those things. So the first one, being specific. Your goal should be clear and specific. Otherwise, you won't be able to focus on your efforts or truly feel motivated to achieve it. When drafting a goal, try to answer these 5 questions. What do I want to accomplish? Why is this goal important? Who is involved? Where is it located? Which resources or limits are involved? Let's say, a lot of you guys are in Kappa League. If I say, okay, if you're the Kappa League president, right? And your goal is we want to take a college tour. Okay. What do you want to accomplish is obviously the college tour. Why is this goal important? Because we want to expose ourselves to different avenues, different campuses, see different things, the exposure, right? So
Yes.
who's involved in this goal? Obviously, it's going to be the Kappa League, but you are probably going to need other people to help you with your goal. Maybe that's your Kappa League advisors. Maybe that's your other Kappa League brothers in your Kappa League, specific Kappa League chapter. Maybe you're going out and seeing, hey, we got 2 Kappa Leagues in the same area. Both of us want to go to this thing. That who may involve maybe me more than your Kappa League. Where is it located? Obviously, if you're going to go on a campus tour, you want to know where it is going to be at. You're going to go do that. Which resources or limits are involved? That, do we need more money? Do we need to do a fundraiser? Do we, will brothers be available to go? Those are the things you want to know when you're specific in your goal setting. Because if you just say, hey, I want to go to college, yeah, that may be a goal, but if you're not specific on what college you want to go to by the time you're in your senior year, by the time you're, turning the corner, getting ready for graduation, then you're already behind where you need to be in achieving that goal. So now we'll move on to measurable. It's important to have measurable goals so that you can track your progress and stay motivated. Assessing progress helps you stay focused, meet your deadlines, and feel the excitement of getting closer to achieving your goals. So if your goal, just say, you guys are in high school, your goal is to get on varsity and you've been on JV, but you have not picked up a basketball since basketball season ended during this whole COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, is that really a realistic, is it a measurable goal? How are you tracking your progress? How are you staying motivated? Is that really a goal that's attainable for you if you have not done anything to get to that goal? And when you assess your progress and you get closer to meeting that goal, if you don't take anything from what I tell you tonight about goal setting, just try this. Start with a simple goal, whatever it is, you write that goal down, and the closer you get to achieving that goal, the more you're going to be motivated to achieve it. I'm pretty sure, Leslie talked earlier about her getting her master's degree. As you know, one semester's down, the next semester's coming. As those semesters keep rolling by and you get closer to that goal, it's going to be, a great feeling when you finally cross the finish line for that goal. So, a lot of people all the time talk about what is the next level and what does that mean? I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has heard that. We want to go to the next level. We want to take it to the next level. I for one, I really don't like that term, because I feel like nobody ever defines what that is. For you being in Kappa League, what is the next level for you? Is it getting a varsity from JV? Is it being a section leader in the band when you're just a section member? Is that being a student council president? Or what does that next level look like for you? Define what that is. And as you define that, that's going to help you in knowing if that goal is tangible, meaning that you can reach out and touch it, and that you're going to be able to motivate it to achieve that goal. So now we'll move on to achievable. So now we got specific, measurable, now moving on to achievable. Your goal needs to be realistic and attainable to be successful. In other words, it should stretch your abilities but remain possible. When you set an achievable goal, you may be able to identify resources that can bring you closer to it. So one thing that I like to do is I establish one goal and then I establish a stretch goal. What that stretch goal is going to do is it's going to motivate you to go past the mark of your goal. If your goal is to get if your goal is to get A's and B's in that semester or that 9 weeks or whatever, then your stretch goal is going to be getting all A's. Because even though your goal is to get A's and B's, you want to get all A's. And if you shoot for that stretch goal, most of the time you're going to achieve the first goal. I pretty much guarantee you try to shoot for that stretch goal, you're going to be satisfied with the results because it's going to push you to be more specific and more measurable in trying to achieve those. You know, they always say you shoot for the moon, you're going to land on the star, right? So that's definitely something that you need to look out for. So now we're moving on to the R in SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. This step is about ensuring that your goal matters to you and that it is all aligns with other relevant goals. We all need support and assistance in achieving our goals, but it's important to retain control over them. So that's pretty much saying that if the goal is not important to you, whatever that goal is, if it's truly not important to you, then you as a leader need to evaluate your place in leadership. And if you're leading the team that you're leading or the group, whether that's your Kappa League, whether that's your football team, your baseball team, or whatever you're doing as high schoolers, if that goal is not relevant to what is really important to you, then you're going to have a hard time achieving it, no matter what that goal is. Because, I always talk to our Kappa Leaguers about interest versus commitment. If you're interested in something, you might look it up, you might inquire about it, but true commitment comes in achieving your goals. You're going to have to be committed to that goal, even when it's not at the forefront of your mind. You're going to have to do those things that are going to push you when you don't feel like being pushed. So, just say if I'm interested in learning how to play a new instrument, I might look up how much the instrument costs. I might look up how to get lessons. I might look up all these different things. But if I'm really committed to doing that, I'm going to follow through in whatever that is. And I'm sure most of you guys, being the leaders of, your respective Kappa League programs, identify that you want to learn more about leadership and you are committed to leadership and enhancing your skill set. And that's why you're here right now. So make sure it's driving everybody forward. But at the end of the day, that's going to fall to you in setting relevant goals. So now we come to the T, which is time bound. Every goal needs a target date so that you have a deadline to focus on and something to work toward. So in setting goals, time bound is probably going to be even though it's the T, it's probably going to be one of the first things you want to do. Because if you're specific, which is the first part of this, and time bound, which is the last one, you know what you want to do, you know how much time you have to do it. And that's usually going to help you create measurable progress and see if you're really on track to meet that goal. Because, hey, sometimes there are going to be things that get in your way. If you're achieving a goal, there's going to be barriers. Those barriers may be, they may be hurdles like the kind around a track. They may be as big as a mountain. But whatever those barriers are, you're going to have to be responsible for knowing those exist and giving yourself time to do those. Because if you're trying to just say raise your GPA by a whole point, then that's not going to happen in a semester. That's going to be something that's going to take a whole, a year, maybe even longer, right? So you ask yourself these questions: when, what can I do 6 months from now? What can I do 6 weeks from now? What can I do today? Because really, you have point A and point B. Point A is where you are. Point B is actually the goal. And every day you wake up, you're going to be at point A. Even if you got a little bit closer to that goal, when you wake up that day, if you don't do anything to advance where you are, it's going to be, if it's first down and 10 and we run the ball, we get 2 yards, it's second down and 8. Well, if we don't gain any yards, it's still going to be third down and 8. You're not going to get, if you're not moving towards the goal, if you're staying stagnant, that's the same as not moving forward. So make sure every day you wake up with that point A mindset. You have to advance yourself, no matter if you were on the road to achieving that goal yesterday, and then you got up today, that's still point A. So make sure you start out every day with that point A mentality, trying to get to point B, and that'll help you set your time-bound goals. That's all that I have as far as the presentation, and I'll open the floor up for questions now if you have any.
A quick question.
Yes.
So like when things like such things like happen right now, it's COVID right now. So what do you do to adjust your goals in the way the world is happening right now? Like something like anomaly like this.
Well, I think really this is a point where goal setting is probably even more important than ever, because this COVID-19 has really kind of put everybody on the same playing field, right? Just say you and your classmates or whoever. The people that have taken this time and used that time wisely to still read, still, fill out those college applications, still inquire about those internships for whenever, those are going to be the people that whenever this breaks, if this does break, that are going to have that advantage. They're going to have that leg up. So, now goal setting is going to be more profound and more important as you're achieving your goals, because, if this has taught some people anything, is that I've talked to a few of my Kappa Leaguers, and they said they don't do this well with free time. With having time where you can get up when you want to, make sure your work is done, and just kind of go about your day. What are you doing with the rest of that time? If you only had an hour or two and you got done with all the work you need to do for school within 2 hours, but you're usually at school for 8 hours, then what are you doing for those 6 hours? Are you advancing yourself to make sure that, you're polishing yourself up and improving your skill set? You on Zoom calls learning about leadership, or you kind of just playing Fortnite, every day, wake up, eat, play Fortnite, do your schoolwork, go to bed. It's really going to separate you as far as being a goal setter.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I would urge you to ask any questions you have, because your assignment for next week's going to involve writing a goal and doing some goal setting. So don't pass up this opportunity to ask any questions.
I kind of have like a question.
Okay, well, hopefully I have kind of like an answer, Ty. What's going on?
So I don't know what the question is, but do you start in order to achieve them goals? Do you start right now, or wait for the moment is right?
Oh, no, I think what you want to do, the first step in achieving your goals, you want to write them down. You want to write your short-term goals, your long-term goals. And as you do those, as you write those goals down, that's going to help you see, okay, what's important now. That's what I always say. And if you do that, it'll help you get a clearer vision of, okay, these are the things I want to achieve, but it's going to take some time, or I'm waiting on something else. Or these are the things that are important right now, the things I need to focus on. It'll allow, when you write your goals down, if nothing else, it'll allow you to balance your time and keep you busy if you're juggling while the balls are in the air, while you're waiting on another ball to drop or something else to happen. You can focus on doing this other thing. So you definitely want to write those goals down. And it's good exercise, because writing them down really forces you to put them at the forefront, in the front of your mind, even if it's just for that, to say, you know what, I really don't want to do this. I thought this is something I wanted to do, but I'm not really committed to doing this. I'd rather do that. So, I think that, we talk about the college experience. That's how I end up truly finding my major. My major was education. And once I really sat down and really figured out what I wanted in my life and kind of what I wanted to do, my whole family is in education, principals, assistant principals, teachers, whatever. I said, I really don't want to do this. And the only reason I was doing it was because of them. So just you writing those goals down will help you to gain focus and focus in on what's important to you. So I would encourage you to do that immediately. And there are going to be revisions. If I ask you what your goals are 5 years from now, and you take a look at that paper you wrote down on today, it may be 3 things on there that are going to be the same.